Welcome back to episode 189 of the Gun Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and responsible Christian gun owners' interest. And this week show, we'll be talking with Tony Simon of Simon Says Train, and the second is for everyone. Welcome on the show, Tony.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Hey, I like that shirt, man. You got black shirts now. I will have to buy me one.
Yeah, we came up with the idea. All right, I'll say I came up with the idea to just do white shirts, and pretty went, we don't wear white shirts. You got a black one.
That's me. I
So
don't wear white shirts.
I don't either. I don't either, but I ordered a bunch of them because I mess up white shirts left and right. So I have like 5 white shirts with 4 stains on them. But we got the black shirts. They came online on August 1st.
Cool.
I was going to pull it after I've really been working to get black shirts, so we got them 6X. So they fit me, they'll fit you.
Well, I can wear a 3X. I'm going to try to get down to a 2X. I don't know if I'm going to make it there or not. So for you guys that are Farms Radio Network people, you've seen Tony, heard Tony, met Tony at NRA shows and all kinds of stuff. So, but for those of you who haven't, he's on lots of different podcasts. Which ones are you frequently on now?
I'm a regular co-host on Gun and Gear Review podcast on Firearms Radio Network, and I like being on Guns of Hollywood a lot because I'm just a fan of the show.
Yeah.
Every now and again, Sean brings me over to This Week in Guns, so yeah, I try to stay all across Firearms Radio Network.
But every time I'm on, it seems like you're on the same time. So if I ever get invited over again, I don't know if I'll get invited back anymore. So
who knows? Yeah, right.
Abandon me and Doug out here. Oh well, it'll be all right. Well,
yeah, who knew your show would last longer than the president of the network would?
Oh yeah, before I did, he had about a 6-month, 8-month lead on me. So I've still got 8 months after he retires before I can break that record. Well, speaking of Farms Radio Network, we want to thank them for our bandwidth. We appreciate them paying that money to put it out there on the interweb for people to watch and listen to, or not watch, but listen to. And
also, Crossbreed Holsters. Thanks for all those guys over there for what they do. If you are carrying a gun, you're not carrying it in a crossbreed, shame on you. Go check them out, crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
We apologize for the delay. I know Bill's been waiting out there. We probably need to post the new link up. I should do that while you talk a little bit, Doug, about your God and gun activities for the week.
All right, let's see. This past week, been doing my daily devotional, my Sportsman's daily devotional, words from Jesus for Men. I didn't get to go to church this past weekend. Me and the wife and one of my daughters were down in Panama City again this weekend, and had to take off early. My other daughter decides, she's like, "Oh, Dad, well, since you're in Florida, you can just stop by our house and help us move a couch." I was in Panama City and she was in Jacksonville. So 4.5 hours later, I'm moving a couch for her, and then finally got to come home. So it was quite the trip. Of course, I've been doing my gun side. I've been doing my everyday carry, out shooting my bow a little bit this week, getting ready. Tomorrow is opening day of deer season in Georgia for bow hunters, and I am going to be up a tree first thing in the morning somewhere, and maybe I'll get one. I hope I do. Let's see what else. I helped Benelli out this week. A friend of mine is looking for a new gun, and they were having a dove shoot, and they're looking for a Benelli. And I was telling them about my Vinci, and they said, "Well, I like that one, but I just don't know. That thing looks weird." I said, "Well, take it out and shoot it, see how you like it." So I gave it to them, and they come back and they're like, "Yeah, we're fixing to get one of those. Those are nice." So made a believer out of them. So that's about it for me this week. I haven't done a whole lot. I've been doing too much working this week.
You look really tired, if I have to say so.
I look what? Tired?
You look tired.
I am tired this week, man.
Of course, you get up like at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning or something, don't you?
I do. Yeah. So this morning, yeah, I slept until 4 this morning, so I did pretty good.
I'm sorry. We had all kinds of, or I had all kinds of problems. I don't know anything. I'm getting too old for this stuff, I think. And YouTube made me have to jump through some hoops tonight. So is that all your guide and gun activities?
That was it for me this week.
Cool. Well, I had church this Sunday. I got to be in the first Sunday. I get security, so I did security from like 8 o'clock in the morning until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's nice. I've got several guys helping me out now, so it's I'm not having to stay in there as much. I had church, of course, Wednesday night with the Awana kids and the youth, and I was planning on going to youth, but our church has had a demographic change in the last year or so, and we now are surrounded by, well, not surrounded, but we've got a lot of people who have drug problems, and drugs leads to poverty, and poverty leads to hunger, and hunger leads to them coming and trying to take money or ask for money and trying to get indoors and stuff like that. So I actually had to monitor the parking lot this last week and the week before, just because we had several people. Not several. We have a couple of usuals that we know and have been helping, but it's getting to be a little ridiculous. But I don't know. I'm thinking about asking the police to start just coming out, hanging out our parking lot on Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings. They surely can't be doing that much out there on Sunday morning. But did that daily reading in the Bible, ESV study. I'm working through it. Probably 80%, 75, 80% done. So I should finish up before the end of the year. Should finish up with the Bible December 1st. On the gun side of cleaning guns, I'm still cleaning guns. And just we've been working on the house so much. We've got all the floors ripped up, all the bedroom floors ripped up. We've had water leak around our chimney, so we've had contractors here, and it's just I'm tired of working on houses. I did it for ever since we've been married. We've been flipping houses, and I thought this house would be no flip. I thought this would just be a nice, easy move into. It's kept us all tore up, so I haven't got to shoot hardly any. I was planning on going shooting all this week, and the guy that was supposed to come over the weekend and fix things didn't show up, and so I had to take care of some other things. But I've been reading, reread, read the new version of How to Win Friends and Influence People, the Dale Carnegie. It's called The Digital Age. Yeah, and it's really molded and shaped towards social media and the way you talk with people on the internet, like podcasts, things like that, and how you relate to people. It's different now than it used to be. Handshakes. You do a lot of communicating over wireless devices and things like that, and how you need to still do the basic things to build those relationships. And so it was a good read. Just started I read Cry Havoc last week from A American. I've read all of A American's books. Not that they're scholarly, they're just makes you think about prepping things and about making sure it just helps you. If you're a prepper, it helps you sort of look at scenarios that you wouldn't normally think about, and how that would how you need to sort of shore up some of your preps in that way, and some of your training, your medical training, and your just gardening and things that you'll need to have should something stupid happen. And then I just started Western Star by Craig Johnson. If you guys know the Craig Johnson series, if there's I think AMC's got Longmire. If you've ever saw the Longmire series, that's where the books originated, the story originated from. It just came out, and I'm probably 80%, 90% done with that. So I read a lot. I don't watch any TV, as most of y'all know, unless somebody says, "Hey, you need to watch this." We got Netflix and stuff like that. I'll turn on, but I find that TV just I can't take it. It's just insults my intelligence too much. It's really hard to believe some of the things I do. But that was most of my gun stuff. I got the
Oh, we got something new.
Law Tactical folder for my little AR-15 pistol project. So now it'll fit in the console of my truck with my little 10-inch barrel, as long as I don't put a suppressor on it. But I've got that, and I'm going to switch out the Kel-Tec Sub 2000, and I'm going to start carrying my little mini puff folded up in my backpack. So that's going to be my new carbine bag. So I do security, I just stick that bag in with me, and if for some reason some terrorists decide to bust up in the church, I'm ready.
So you get rid of
Kentucky. It's probably not going to happen in Glasgow, Kentucky, but hey.
So you're getting rid of your sub?
Who knows? Nah, I'm not getting rid of my sub.
He's got something else new.
Well, this was on DeVore. It's the Midwest Industries, the Sub 2000 optic mount that they've got, that it folds up and swings out of the way, so you can put a red dot on your Sub 2000, and then you can still fold it and close it up, and then you swing your optic out of the way, and you still have that same profile, that little small package.
Nice.
Because Gunner has pretty much claimed my Sub 2000 if I do anything with it. He loves it, and he shoots it better than I do. I got big fat cheeks, and I can't get down there on the rail. So
look a little bit like that one. Look a little like that one, does it?
Yeah, just like that. Cool. I put you up here where I can see you. Where'd you go?
I like mine now.
Oh, there you go. Cool. So that was my God and Guns activities for the week. Tony, you got anything you want to share with us?
Oh yeah, it's really funny because it seems like we're all on the same page. Sunday, friends of mine, not Sunday, Monday, Labor Day.
Yeah.
Friends of mine opened up the range. We went out and shot some shotgun. They wanted to show me how to shoot trap and skeet. Usually when I teach people to shoot shotgun, we shoot clays, NRA thing, but we just shoot them on a straightaway. So they took me through and showed me how to shoot skeet, showed me how to shoot trap. We had everything from Brownings to I brought my Stevens 20 gauge youth model, and it was by far the cheapest gun out there. One of the guys had we shot 7 rounds. 7th round, I was just exhausted. I'm like, oh man, I'm tired. I shot the over and under rings. I shot he had a CZ over and under, really nice guns. It was a little heavy, kicking my butt with the 12 gauge and over under. I was like, man, I maybe have one good one left in me, one good round of this. And the guy said, hey, you want to try my Benelli Vinci? I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you want to try it? Yeah. So after I finished that round busting clays, I was like, let's do another one. They were like, no, we're going home. Yeah, that Benelli made a believer out of me, man.
How'd you like that Vinci?
Da Vinci was just really nice. And the kid who had the Browning, he just bought the Browning. He had the CZ, and he had a Mossberg 930. He shot that Vinci for 2 rounds. And when we got back to the house, he was online looking to see if he could buy a used Vinci. He was like, I'm going to sell this stupid Browning. I mean, not stupid Browning. He said, I'm going to sell this stupid Mossberg because it stinks. I want a Vinci. So it is really worth it. It is like 6.5 pounds. It's really worth getting. Henry donated to us the diversity shoot. They donated 3 rifles.
Awesome.
22 long rifle. They sent out the Frontier model with the suppressor front end because I'm going to do some shoots in PA. I can't have suppressors in Jersey, but I figured if we did some shoots in PA, we could put a suppressor on it and just show people how quiet it is. And they gave me a steel big boy, and that's what I took out to the range last Wednesday, just doing some shooting for review. Cool. So that's what I pretty much did this week in guns. I think that was it. And NRA, I started carrying because that was quick. I started carrying my Glock 19. I didn't have a holster for until Georgia when I was talking to the guy Crossbreed, who also a
Mm-hmm.
to raffle off, which I raffled off 3 times in Jersey, and all the people gave it back to me afterwards. Said thanks a lot, but I don't carry. So I'm saving it. Well, they can't carry in Jersey unless you carry in your house. So I'm saving it for the PA Dorsey shoot. And what was this, Justin, right?
What's that?
The guy over at Crossbreed.
Justin.
Yeah, Justin. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, we've met a couple of times. He really likes what we're doing. So he donated some belt and a couple more holsters, and then he donated a Super Tuck. So I'm going to make it a gift package when we do the raffle.
Awesome.
I'm going to give away an EDC belt and a Super Tuck, and it's a gift certificate. So you contact them and get the Super Tuck that fits your firearm. So
Awesome.
that's going to be one of the big raffles we give away when we host this event in Pennsylvania. And as
Those
far
guys
as
are
my
pretty
devotion,
awesome, aren't they?
dude, they are so great. They decided to help me immediately once I told them what I was doing with the Second is for Everyone in Louisville. I think that's where I ran into them, in Louisville, or maybe even up at the Great American Outdoor Show. But they were just so good for the last 2 years. It blew me away. They've really helped out a lot, and I'm really thankful for that. But we talked about me in church when we were down in Georgia, but I don't really go like I should. But I do pray. And I have friends down in Texas that live outside of Houston, and I have not heard from them.
Oh, wow.
So, of course, I've been praying. And I probably won't. It's my ex-girlfriend and her family,
Mhm.
but we didn't end it badly. You know what I mean? But I have no way of getting in contact with them.
Wow.
So what I'm doing with my shirts, we're going to design a new shirt just for Texas Relief, and all the profits from it, I'm going to donate to different people that are helping down there.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're going to run that shirt for a year.
That's cool. Looks like we're going to be doing the same thing in Florida really soon.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to come straight up Florida and straight into our backyard here.
Really?
It's supposed to start Monday morning. We're supposed to start getting wet, and by Tuesday morning we're supposed to catch the brunt of it. But they're talking about it's probably going to be down to a category 1 by the time it gets to us. But it'll probably dump a lot of water on us.
Yeah. There's a lot of low. Well, you're up on high ground there where you're at, and you got a boat in your front yard, so you're pretty set.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get the boat. We'll get the boat if we need to.
That's what someone was telling me. We had 7 inches of rain last week, and I was like, man. Well, I mean, we live on a huge hill, and they said, "You worried about the water?" I said, "Nah, I'm on top of a big hill and I got a boat, so I think we'll be all right."
Yeah. When you got a boat in your yard when a hurricane's on the way, that's taking prepping to a whole nother level.
Well, you better tether it down though if there's gonna be any kind of winds. Plus, you're in that subdivision. You should have a whole lot of wind.
Yeah, it should be all right. I actually got 2 just in case I got to take somebody with me. I got one big boat and then I got a duck boat, so I can tote somebody behind the other one if I need to.
Cool. Yeah, I've been looking at John boats because I wanted to, something that's easy just to throw in the back of the truck and just go down to the river
Mm-hmm.
and just take Gunner down there because he's got hooked on fishing since we went up to Montana and Idaho and Wyoming and did all that fishing out there in that trip. he's hooked. He wants a fly rod now. So when he gets something that's a little easier to get in and out than that big old deck boat. But just I never take that thing in. All right, so EDC check. I've got a Glock 19 Gen 3, the usual suspect, locked, ready to go, loaded. Got my Trijicon on there so I can see because I got old eyes. I can pick up and hit quickly with that. And the usual other stuff. Got a spare holster Gideon, Crossbreed Gideon mag holder, and I started carrying a 33 round mag in that Gideon because I wear these deep cargo pants, and so I'm thinking, why am I carrying 2 17 mags? I'll just carry a 33 round mag in there, and it's easier to get a hold of. And so I started doing that, and I'm not
In
going
the
to all the other
Gideon?
stuff. In the Gideon, yeah. I mean, it's the
Really?
same profile as the 17, but it just sticks up higher. And
A
it fits
lot higher,
actually.
probably.
Yeah, but I mean, it's easy to grab. So, like for my spare, I've got 33, well, 32 rounds. I download one, but I got 32 rounds and they're ready to go. Can't do that in New Jersey, can you? I can't hear you, Tony.
Yeah, I know. I was laughing. Yo, okay. Oh, you can do it. You can do it. Nothing's illegal until you get caught and convicted, I guess. Um, yeah, I got my Glock 19 Gen 2 and my crossbreed. I I learned in Georgia I need to carry this more so I'm comfortable with it.
Mhm.
Carry it around the house just so I can stop patting it and moving it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Grabbing it, adjusting it. Yeah, it took me
Yep.
about 2 years to get past that.
Hey, so we're
Well,
all in
I
unison.
learned the importance.
Do what, Tony?
I think there he is.
Yeah,
You're cutting out.
it got roboty for a second. Yeah, I I wear it right now around the house. My wife really didn't like it because I had this one size fit all holster. So every time I moved, everything jiggled around.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this crossbreed during the NRA show. I was like, okay, this is how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm right with you guys, man.
3 for 3.
Glock 19. Hey, what that video I posted on our Facebook page that day, the top 5 concealed carry guns. Number 5, the Glock 19. Number 4, the Glock 19.
I picked this one up. I picked this one up from AIM Surplus for like 320 bucks, $325 as a police trade in from somewhere, Gen 2. I just wanted a polymer gun to train students with, on the striker fire, something modern, because I had, CZ and I had CZ 75, which is, double action, single action. And people kept asking, do you have a Glock? Do you have a Glock? And, anybody means Glock is a polymer 9mm. That's all they know. So I was able to catch this on sale, and I'm like, hey, police trade-ins work.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to have a conversion barrel for some of those trade-ins, those 40s to go to 9s, but they don't have them anymore. Lone Wolf used to have them, and so a lot of people were getting those 40 trade-ins and converting them over to 9mm or convert them over to 9mm. So, but they don't sell those barrels anymore. I don't know what's up with that, Zach, man. Zach's your buddy.
I don't know. Didn't they come up with a new line of barrels, and then I guess they dropped them?
Well, they carry like 3 or 4 lines of barrels. They carry their own. They carry Glocks, and they carry timber something, and they carry.
Yeah.
Well, they carry some different ones, but and the ones I always want are out of stock. So I'm like, man, this is not good. But I did get a conversion. I got a conversion barrel for my Glock 20, so it will shoot 9mm. But I've got several 9s now, so I'm like, I probably could sell that to someone else. So we got a Glock Gen 2 and Glock Gen 3 is what I got, and Doug's got Glock Gen 4. So somebody's got to get Gen 5.
Yeah, I'll get a Gen 5 when they come out with the Gen 8.
Yeah.
I get these like I get phones.
You get a Gen 5 police trade in.
Yeah, Gen 5 police trade in. Like, what is this thing? This Samsung phone of mine, like, S5 or whatever they call it, and they have the S8s out now. I'm like, yeah, that's about my speed right there. Gen's back.
All right, so we got some jokes. I found some mostly clean jokes, and I cleaned them up a little bit more. And so I've got a lame joke for Doug to start off with.
Oh, for me, I get to do the lame one.
You're the lame joke guy, so
hey, that's okay. I can do that. Oh, I saw this one earlier. Hey, all right. So here goes the first one. A panda walks into a burger joint, orders a burger, pulls out a gun, shoots the waiter, and leaves. The waiter looks up and says, "What's wrong with you?" And the panda says, "I read that pandas eat, shoots, and leaves." What? Oh, that was it. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a lame joke of the day.
Oh my goodness. Hey, listen, if I'm ever on the show again, yeah, let me on after the jokes.
Just put it on Depends, man. It'll be all right. All right, so I'm gonna take this next one. When I was younger, I hated going to weddings. It seemed like all my aunts and grandmotherly types used to come up to me, poking me in the ribs and cackling, telling me, "You're next." And they stopped there right after I started doing the same thing at the funerals.
That's so wrong. That's funny though, but it's wrong.
It's edgy. It's edgy for the show.
It's edgy. Yeah, it's the first time I actually heard that one.
All right, I'll get to. You want this next one, Doug? Or
No, you might as well go ahead and finish that one up.
Unless Tony wants it.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. See, I got to work this.
You gotta
A couple.
You got punchline. You gotta do it right, man.
Yeah, I know. I got to get it right. So a couple was celebrating their golden wedding anniversary, and their domestic tranquility had been long the talk of the town. So a local newspaper reporter came and met him and interviewed him and said, "Hey, what's the secret of your long and happy marriage?" Well, the wife went, "It goes back to our honeymoon. We visited the Grand Canyon and took a trip down to the bottom of the canyon on a pack mule. We hadn't gone too far when my husband's mule stumbled. My husband quietly said, 'That's once.' We proceeded a little further, and the mule stumbled again. Once more, my husband quietly said, 'That's twice.' We hadn't gone more than half a mile when the mule stumbled a third time. My husband took his pistol from his pocket and shot the mule dead. I started to protest over his treatment of the mule, and he looked at me and quietly said,
'That's once.'"
Oh, I love that joke from the first time I heard it years ago. Grandma, Grandpa, y'all been married 80 years and never had an argument. How is that possible? That's once.
I had not heard that joke. I missed it somehow over the years, or either that or me and Doug both have amnesia because we're getting Alzheimer's because we both are all the time pulling up jokes that we've already told before.
And we still laugh at them. They're still funny.
Hey, it's still funny. It makes no difference. I heard it before. It's still a funny joke.
It is.
My wife doesn't think it's funny, but I do.
We have a few listeners that are youngsters that love the jokes that we put on.
Well, you know what it is. In today's day and age, everybody thinks they're clever if they put a curse word or just, some uncomfortable thing that you can't tell everybody. These jokes are at least clean and funny.
They are high and low for them, man. We've exhausted all the Chuck Norris jokes that have ever been, at least 3 times over, and then we went through other jokes. All right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Just listener feedback. Go ahead.
Cool.
We did get some listener feedback this week.
Yeah. You want to take the first one? Or you want me to take it?
Sure. Yeah. When I emailed him back, I told him, I said, "Look, you got to call us Doug and Troy." Mr. McDowell, Mr. Clopton, I want to say thank you for the amazing podcast that you provide. Listening to your message is helping me find my way back to Christ. The Sportsman's Daily Devotional that Mr. McDowell suggested has been aiding me by bringing God and the Bible in a way that I can understand. I enjoy what you both bring to the podcast and have helped me in understanding the Word of God better. Please keep spreading Christ's message and keep up the good work. Josh K.
Oh, thanks, Josh. We appreciate that.
Yep. And it's Troy and Doug.
Troy and Doug. Yep. I'm sure this is a man who's been raised right.
Yep.
Our young man's been raised right, and we appreciate the manners because we don't find them very often anymore. But we appreciate that. But you can call us Doug and Troy.
Absolutely.
And Tony.
Yeah.
We lost Tony on video. Tony got just a picture up now.
what happens if my bandwidth kind of jacked up and stuff's breaking up on me? So if I got rid of the picture, I can actually hear you guys without it roboting out. So
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
hopefully I sound better.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
I figured it was New Jersey, just cracking down on those
Firearms related
firearms
podcasts.
related podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah, before a storm. They use
Yeah.
a storm as an excuse, like Virgin Islands did, right?
Storm in Florida. We're gonna take out New Jersey's.
Yeah, just in case. You can't even talk about guns.
Let's see. We got a iTunes review, a 5-star review by Tinkle Toe, I think it is. I love the show, guys. I have a couple of guest ideas. I like 22 Plinkster, Demolition Matt, Sean, Heron, Aaron Krieger, Jeremy Podes.
Pause, Derek.
Pause Derek. I never can pronounce his name. Tony Stark. Tony Stark. Isn't he like the
Iron Man?
Iron Man? Okay.
Yeah.
All 3 Markles. There's 5 Markles, actually. So,
Yep.
Mike Emert, and Zach. I guess it's Mike Emert and Zach, who McMillan used to be on the show, originators of Gun Guns. Peter Palma and Sean Maloney.
Sean Maloney from Second Call Defense. He's the lawyer that actually came up with Second Call Defense.
Oh, okay.
So this guy's obviously a We Like Shooting fan.
Yeah. I don't think we could. I don't have a beeper button for Jeremy, or maybe even for Aaron.
Yeah.
Mike, and Zach, we've had back on. We had a spoof episode where they started out the show like they were the host, like a long time ago. And Peter Palma, I've seen him, and I've been on a show with him. And I just don't think our audience is the same audience for Peter.
No.
So, I think you won't see Peter or Jeremy or maybe Aaron on here. Sean might come on. I've been on some shows with Sean. I don't know Matt. I know everybody that knows Matt, but I don't know Matt personally.
Yeah, right.
And 22 Plinkster was supposed to be on last night, and he backed out because he's too important for us now.
He's famous.
So, he's famous. Yeah, Federal's paying his way, so he's 22 Plinkster is still our buddy. We affectionately call him Blinky, but he is busy until like the end of November or something. He said he'd come on then. So 22 Plinkster will be back on. We need to have Sean on since he's taking over the network.
Yep.
And we've had the Markles on once or twice. They've been on
at least a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times about their books, and we've had some cross episodes relating to religion subjects, things like that. Mike's got an open invitation anytime he wants to come on. He's able to come on, and Zach is one busy man, and he's got babies and stuff, and so that's the reason that he couldn't really stay on. Mike got a job promotion and record a lot more time of him. Plus, he started writing. He's an author now. You guys hadn't heard that. Tony Stark. If I got Tony Stark on, my daughter would take over the show because she's like the biggest fan of all that stuff.
Wow. Times have changed. Remember when we liked Iron Man when I was growing up, you had to be a comic book geek. Now girls like him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're a lot cuter in 3 dimensions too, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So that was our feedback. We appreciate the feedback, guys. And if you ever want to send us feedback, you will hear that later how to do that. Bible verse this week is Acts 20, verse 35. In all things I have shown you that by working hard in this way, we must help the weak and remember the words of the Lord Jesus, how he himself said, it is more blessed to give than receive. Again, Acts 20, verse 35. I'm reading the ESV version. So what are we hearing here? We're hearing that we are to show the light of Christ in our walk, in our daily walk, in the way we represent as a believer, as a follower of Christ. We should do what Christ commanded, and Jesus said it's better to give than receive. And he also said that you can't outgive him. So whatever you bless others with, he will give you more. and I can attest to that in my life. The more I tithe, the more God blesses me. The more that God blesses me, the more I tithe, and it's just amazing to see how God works it out in ways that I never expected, and just be willing to give graciously and give without expectance of repayment or thanks even. And just like Tony's doing by getting all these shirts sold to give funds down to Texas, that's what believers are to do. We're supposed to support those that are in need or weak. Those specifically in the church, we're supposed to take care of widows and orphans, and so that's the weakest among us. And of course, in the culture, we're to stand up for those who can't speak for themselves. That would be babies being aborted. That would be people who are mentally handicapped and can't represent themselves. So we're to stand for life. We're to stand for the things that honor God, because we're all made in God's image. Even those who curse His name, even those who hate Him with everything in their soul, they still are in the image of God. And we have to remember that we can't just call them fools and disregard them. We need to pray for our enemies, and we need to support people whenever they have a need, because we're commanded to first, and then that shows the love of Christ in us as well. And the blessing is that when you give, I remember my first time um, exercising that when I was probably about 9 or 10 years old. There was a family that was sharecroppers that lived back behind our farm, another farm, and they had absolutely nothing. I mean, the man worked in the fields, and he did tobacco, and I mean, worked on all the different farms, and they had about 4 or 5 little kids, and we had lots of stuff. We had grandparents on both sides that always bought us a lot of stuff, and I can remember my mom saying, "Okay, I want y'all to go through and get all your toys out, and anything that that you don't need, anything that is not something you play with. Let's gather it all up." We gathered up all the toys. Anything broken we didn't take, but anything that was in good shape we took, wrapped them up in paper, and took a box. And my mom and went to the grocery store and had about 4 or 5 bags of groceries. And we went back there and we said we wanted to wish them a Merry Christmas. It was Christmas Eve, and the the kids came running out and just excited, overjoyed, and we were giving them things that we necessarily, wasn't brand new, but we gave them, the food and things like that. But I can just remember how good it felt when I was able to give something to someone that didn't have as much as we had, and just the blessing that was. And I can remember my brother had a little doll that uh, and it was like a Raggedy Ann doll. And why he had a Raggedy Ann doll, I don't know. But he had this little I just outed my brother. He's
Trevor's gonna get you for that.
And it was his most favorite. Listen, but it was his Linus towel, rag, or whatever it was, blanket Linus had. It was always with him everywhere we went, and that was the gift he gave away. And I can remember the look in his eyes of how happy he was to see the kid. There was a little girl ran up and grabbed that, opened up, and just started hugging on. I can remember the expression on his face. So don't take it for granted. You, most of us are blessed with so much stuff we don't know what to do with it. I mean, when we moved here, we hauled away trailer loads of stuff to the dump because we had nowhere to put it, nowhere to take it. We took stuff to Goodwill, things like that. But just remember, there's people out there that don't have things that would like to have what you have. And even the poorest in this country are better off than most people in other countries. But still, don't take it for granted that you have the ability to show God's love, and you're called to do that biblically. And you do that to honor God, not yourself. So it's not about you, but it's about God. And so just remember that that's part of our Christian walk. We do that financially, we do that monetarily, we do that physically. If someone has a need, you're supposed to, go help them, the elderly around you. And by doing that, you're witnessing to the world. You're showing that God is at work in your life, and it's changed you from the person that you used to be into the person that is starting to look more and more like Christ. Any comments, Doug?
No, I agree with you. You talk about giving back and stuff like that. I took my girls were they were younger. They were probably teenagers, and they were whining about what they wasn't going to get for Christmas, all the stuff they were getting and stuff. So, I do Santa Claus for a place called Happy Hour. It's a home for mentally challenged folks, and they have workshops where they can actually work and earn money and stuff like that. And they're older; they have to be at least 18 to work there. And I've been doing Santa Claus dinner for, I think this last year was my 13th or 14th year doing it. And when we go down there, I made my girls be elves one year, and everybody down there gets one present. That's all they get. And Santa delivers it to them and brings it to them. And just the joy you see, like you were talking about, the gift Trevor gave up, the little girl that got it. It's amazing to see their face when they get that one present. And it really brought it home for my girls that year too. They're like, then they weren't as materialistic as they thought they were going to be when they got to see how happy one little gift made somebody.
Cool. Tony?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, growing up like I did, growing up in the church, we always gave. Sometimes we didn't have much to give, and sometimes we were on the receiving end of getting gifts. But as an adult now, yeah, I've helped out a lot, different things. Ex-girlfriend and I broke up. She's the one with the family down in Texas. Well, I bought a bunch of gifts for her daughter. And of course, again, we broke up. And you know how you spoil a little girl, so you got way too many gifts for us anyway. Well, I'm a single dude now with a bunch of gifts for kids, and I actually donated those gifts because the kid had to play with toys. You know what I mean? I'm not going to just keep a box of toys. So I have no idea how many children enjoyed way too many toys for Erica. But it just feels good when you do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels good. I mean, it just feels like this is right. And more people should really try it.
All right. So that's our Bible verse for this week. Well, main topic, we've already had Tony talking since the beginning here, but Tony Simon is Simon Says Train, and the second is for everyone. So Tony, I'm going to let you explain to us about your training and about the second is for everyone group that you got. I don't know how is it classified? Is it a organization? Is it a nonprofit? Is it a
right now, okay, I'll go ahead and say it's not a nonprofit. Right now, it's categorized as a hobby. It's my money going to this. It's whatever anyone donates, and I just put it right into this program and make sure we have the next event. What I'll give you a history on how I got started, both in training and with the second is for everyone. I was in the Marine Corps before. I was born and raised in the South. I was born and raised in Virginia, out in the middle of the country. So I had a gun and used a gun since I was a kid, 22s, pistols, rifles, that whole thing growing up. In high school, I was in ROTC. I actually competed in high school in the air rifle competitions. I joined the Marine Corps, of course, reshot there. I got out of the Corps and came to New Jersey, where pretty much gun ownership is impossible. It's just, it's okay. Compared to Virginia, it's ridiculous. In New Jersey, people go, "Oh, it's not so bad." I'm like, yeah, that's called Stockholm Syndrome. It's ridiculous. So this is what it takes for people that don't know. I moved to New Jersey in 93. I walked into a gun store, which I've been doing since I was 5 in Virginia, and they allow you to touch stuff and look at stuff. I have money in my pocket. I walk in the store in New Jersey and I said, "Hey, could I see that AR on the wall?" And the guy goes, "Do you have a firearms ID card?" And I looked at him like he asked me, "Have I ever ridden a unicorn?" I'm like, "What's a firearms ID card?" "Oh, well, you have to get permission from the state. They do a background check and you have a firearms ID card." I'm like, "Well, I got my military ID card and I have my driver's license. You can do a background check."
That may be a reason to reject it if you have a military ID.
Yeah. So, he told me I couldn't touch any guns in the store without a firearms ID card. And that was my first lessons on New Jersey. Anyway, so I didn't do anything with guns for 15 years. A friend of mine, Sean Fisher from Black Bag Resources, he came back. We became friends. He took me out shooting in Jersey on private property, so I didn't have to worry about the firearms ID card, because you can shoot someone's gun. It's just store policies in most stores that if you don't have a firearms ID card, they won't let you touch a gun.
Wow.
So I got back right before the horrible shooting in Sandy Hook. I bought me a 22. I did all the paperwork and I got me a Ruger 10/22. And of course, I was a Marine, so I can shoot, right? Like forever. I don't have to do it for 2 decades, and I'm still shooting a fly's butt out, right, at 100 yards. Yeah, right. At 25 yards, it looked like I shot the target with a pizza. It looked like I shot a pizza box with a shotgun. It was sad. I couldn't shoot a group for anything. And my boy Sean.
Gotta be the gun.
Oh yeah, it's the gun. It's old ammo.
Something wrong.
My boy Sean said, "Hey, I just got my NRA qualification to be an NRA and firearms instructor, and I need the people in class. Can you take, a class with me?" So I gave him, whatever pittance he was charging just for us to take a class so he can get some classes under his belt. And I shot the gun on Wednesday. It was horrible. I took the class on Sunday. I came back the next Wednesday and shot a quarter-size group at 25 yards with iron sights, 10-shot group.
There you go.
And I was like, I want to be a firearms instructor. So, so I took all the money and I became a firearms instructor, because you have to take, I took rifle, pistol, and shotgun. Uh-huh. So I got into it. We're planning our classes and everything. And then Sandy Hook happens. And now everything I did in New Jersey, they're trying to ban. And then nationwide, they were trying to ban almost everything. Most of the people that listen to the podcast might remember it, but there are a lot of younger people that, Sandy Hook is old news. Like, that's something that happened when they were kids. Well, they were shutting down everything. And that's when I got politically active. I started writing letters talking about the rules they're passing or what they're trying to pass is ridiculous in New Jersey. I found out our senators, our assemblymen, and I wrote a letter, Sean and myself. We put the letter together and we put it on Facebook because I just joined Facebook. And I blasted it all over Facebook and said, this is my letter. Use it as a template, copy it, whatever, and actually write your senators and get involved in the Second Amendment. And then a couple months later, when Jersey tried to change our magazine capacity laws from 15 maximum to 10, I went to testify in their Senate safety meeting, whatever, rubber stamp, BS, Democrat-controlled legislation that they were trying to push through. And I was the only black guy that was pro-gun in a room full of 200 pro-gun people. Wow. And I was like, why aren't there more people of color here? Where are the Asians? Where are the, Hispanics? Where are the blacks? Just nobody here but middle-aged white people who took the day off, and myself that were pro-gun. And then they had 11 anti-gun people saying the old Bloomberg talking points, that he paid and bought and paid for. And, of course, these people voted along party lines, and it passed, and it got up to Governor Christie's desk. And because he was running for president, he pretended he was a Republican and vetoed the bills.
It's like all those, he waits to pardon all these people when it's election time, too.
Oh, yeah. It was just, yeah. And all of these people are from outside of the state, by the way. He didn't pardon anybody in Jersey. He pardoned everybody outside of Jersey. Shaneen, Allen, all of them were not from Jersey. Anyway, when I left there, I started calling New Jersey Second Amendment groups because I had just gotten involved. And I called them up and I was like, hey, we have anything to actually help recruit minorities into Second Amendment groups? Because I didn't see anyone. And all of them went, no, we don't have a program. So I called Sean. The reason I keep bringing him up is because he was the one. I said, Sean, how come they don't have anything for minorities? And Sean was like, well, why don't you start something? You're a minority. I was like, I'm just a regular dude. I'm not one of these people that start stuff. I was like, I'd join and I'd help out. And he was like, dude, are you going to be about it or are you going to talk about it?
Oh.
And I was like, I guess I got to be about it. That's it. So I called Anthony Calandro. That's where we all went. Anthony Calandro had Gun for Hire range in Woodland Park, New Jersey. Yeah. Big range, $1 million range. A lot of people know Anthony. Actually ran for the NRA board a couple years ago. Anthony was my TC training counselor, and he's the one that trained me to be an instructor. I went to Anthony on like February 2nd, and I was like, hey, Anthony, could I have a meeting room there and maybe like get some African Americans in and try to recruit them and show them what the Second Amendment is about in the state and talk about Second Amendment groups? And he was like, yeah, why don't you do it on the 9th? I'm like, of what? He was like, next week. Do it next week. I was like, okay. So the Second is for Everyone started off as the African American diversity shoot. That was the very first one.
Yeah.
And we had 4 people show up.
Hey,
And
we wasn't there before.
hey, we had 4 young we had I think 2 African Americans and 2 Hispanic kids show up. 2 had shot a gun before, but the rest hadn't. We took them through. We shot a bunch of guns. We talked about the Second Amendment. I got them signed up. I actually became an NRA recruiter, and I signed 2 out of 4 of them up as NRA members.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, it was really fun, but I was nervous. And Anthony said, "Well, why don't you just set it up on a rotating schedule?" So every 2 months since February 2015, I've been hosting these, and they've grown. There's a Second Amendment workshop, and what we do is the same basic thing. We bring in people from all over. Welcome, whether you're black, white, gay, straight, religion makes no difference, men, women, and your age makes no difference, and your financial background makes no difference. We want everybody to come because this is the time. This is the time to recruit as many people as we can and become active politically. Second Amendment people and gun owners sit back too much and just react. Well, it's a time for us to be proactive by recruiting people from every aspect and every political aspect, by the way, because we've had anti-gunners, we had liberals, we have had them all come in and shoot guns and enjoy them and become politically active. NRA ILA comes out almost every event. I talked to Rob Pincus, who became a friend of mine over time, and I told him what I was doing. He donated a lot of stuff from Personal Defense Network and ICE training, but he told me to go to the industry. He said, go to the industry, talk to them and see if they'll help. So great companies like Henry right here in New Jersey has donated guns. High Point actually donated a 9mm carbine. Springfield Armory, which I guess people hiss and boo Springfield because they say they don't really support Second Amendment groups. Yeah, they donated like thousands of dollars worth of T-shirts, hats, and stuff like that for the first 2 years of us doing this. I've been giving that stuff away for about 2 years.
Awesome.
As I was running out this year, that's when they had whatever mental breakdown Springfield had to do what they did during the NRA show. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'll give them a little breathing room because actually people told me they didn't want anything from Springfield, even if it was free. Yeah. So my thing is to get people to come to events. We give away tons of swag. We give away swag bags to almost everybody that comes in the door. At least the first 20, 25 people get catalogs from places like Browning, from places like Delton. Cold Steel has donated not only some knives, but a bunch of catalogs that you get to see. Battle Horse Knives, I don't know if you guys know them. They make semi-custom or custom knives. Yeah, I met him at Great American Outdoor Show. He donated a knife for Comanche that was done at a silent auction. I gave that away last year, and he just donated another one. I can't even tell you the name of it, but it's really nice, really sharp, and I'm going to figure out how to give that away.
There's a little Battle Horse knife right there. I'm going to be giving away his super. Yeah, he gave that to me up there at the same show. Great people. Yeah, really good people. Really good Christians. We discussed a lot of stuff with them. Good people, and I've really been blessed. I can say that unabashedly. When I met you guys, it was a great thing at NRA, and I've been doing it for a while. NRA was rough though, man. I was exhausted. I was exhausted, and ran into John Correa from Active Self-Protection. I don't know if you guys know his YouTube channel or his Facebook page. He's an ordained minister. He also he does self-defense classes, firearms instructor, martial arts. And I told him I was exhausted, and I really, going back on the floor the last 2 days of NRA show. And he was like, well, come on. And right in that press booth, right where we were, we walked over in the corner and we did group prayer. And it really helped out. I walked down on the floor. And who did I run into? What's his name from NRA News? Cam Edwards.
Uh-huh.
And he interviewed me for NRA TV right there.
I saw that.
And it, yeah, it was the power of prayer, man. It really was, because I was not in the mood to actually go out. I didn't even want to leave that press room.
You
And it was like, this is my mission. This is what I'm supposed to do.
you
And it worked
you
out.
were in a video that our buddy Ron Bellin from Reaper Outdoors done. You were I want to say you were dancing or something behind him. He was doing an interview and you're back there messing with him.
They told me that was coming out. I'm thank goodness a lot of people haven't seen it. I stumbled across it twice and laughed myself silly.
Oh, I seen it. It
I
was
saw what
funny.
he was doing. Oh, I saw what he was doing. We were talking to the guys from Lehigh
Yep.
Ammunition, and I was telling him what we did, and he started giving the interview and cutting up in the back, figuring no one would notice the big fat guy in the back in the giant white shirt doing the belly flop wiggle, and nobody was coming through on the floor in that area. So every vendor had stopped and was turning around and looking at me. And of course, he turns around like, "What's going on back here?" It was great. Those are great guys. A lot of people helped me out. Even I was over to
Axelson.
Axelson Tactical.
Axelson Tactical was really cool with us, because they were over by Hollison, the optic. All those guys are, I think, in the same area. And the guy from Hollison, one of the reps, is actually mine from Jersey. And if you saw that backpack I was carrying, everyone was giving me stuff. That backpack was full. Like SDI gave me like 200 patches that I've been giving away ever since. The people, the industry really stood up and helped out. And I mean, I need help at every one of these events. We have them every 2 months. We got one coming up October 5th. And we bring people in from all over. We have about 60 people come out. We have a couple of different Second Amendment groups. We people have drinks, soda, water, that kind of thing. Gun for Hire Range has over 200 rental guns they rent for free. Plus, we all bring our firearms. Different companies have donated ammo to give to us, and we have people shoot. No matter who you are. I had one of the guys, Hispanic kid from work, brought his mom for her birthday because she wanted to shoot a gun or learn to shoot a gun. We had the Second Amendment Women's Club. Their instructors came out, and her first gun was my Glock 19 that she ever shot. That's what she learned on. Shanine Allen came out. She shot a lever action for the first time 2 months ago. The Henry lever action. That was the first gun she ever shot. That was a lever. We have all kinds of people come out, volunteers come out. We have a great time. We introduce people to firearms in a friendly, fun environment. We just try to grow the Second Amendment community and culture.
Awesome.
And again, no matter your race, this is what we have to do as a people. As Second Amendment freedom-loving people, we have to recruit, active politically. And that's the boring, nasty, dirty part that no one really wants to do because it sucks. Yeah. it really does.
Something you'd said, Sandy Hook is the reason that I'm on this podcast, because I was a firearms instructor here in Kentucky, teach concealed carry classes, and own guns. I don't remember a time not knowing how to shoot. Both my grandfathers taught me how to shoot since I was a little kid. I mean, I got pictures of me at 3 years old shooting stuff out in the field. But so Sandy Hook happens, and then all of a sudden, like every politician in the country, this is our opportunity. And I mean, everywhere, even in Kentucky, they were talking about, oh, we're going to ban this. We're going to go back to the Clinton era type ban and how much that was awesome and everything. And I'm like, no, it ain't. And so, I mean, spontaneously, all these rallies at the capitals happened. So we had rallies here in Kentucky, in Frankfort. And so I go to that one, and I'm Facebook. I mean, I'm YouTube, watching all these YouTube channel stuff. And so I'd gotten to be friends with 22 Plinkster, and I got to be friends with Hickok 45 vaguely. And I was saying that I was going to go to Frankfurt, and he said, where you at? I said, well, I was in Glasgow at the time. I was like 20 miles from the Tennessee border. He said, well, you're close enough to Tennessee. We'll call you Tennessee and come on to Nashville too. And so Dave invited me down. 22 Planks invited me down, and Hickok 45 invited me down, and Gun Blast, Jeff from Gun Blast. I was friends with him, and he said you need to come down. So all three of those had told me to come down and be at their march, and so I go to Nashville, and I meet up with 22 Blinkster, Hickok 45, and John. I meet up with Jeff and Bogue Quinn of Gun Blast. I meet up with TNN Outdoors, TN9 Outdoors, Ammo Guy Reviews down there, YouTube guys. So I meet up with all these YouTube guys, and they say, hey, we're gonna go grab some lunch over here. You want to go with us? And so I'm like, yeah, I'll go with you. And so go over to the lunch with them and meet Zeke Stout. Zeke was Talking Lead, and Marty was supposed to be there, but he got delayed or something, left hand. So I met Zeke and Marty. At that time, they were part of the Farms Radio Network. They just started up the show, Talking Lead. So I met those guys, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, we're podcasters and stuff, and you ever heard stuff?" And I'm like, "No." so you gotta check out our channel, And so I get their card stuff and start talking to them, and they say, "Hey, we're going to NRA in Houston, and we need a camera guy." And I was like, well, I don't know, but I usually go to the NRA shows. I said, well, I'm planning on going to the NRA. Let me check with the wife, checked with the wife. So I go down to Houston with Marty and Zeke, and I do filming. I meet Ron Bell in there from Reaper Outdoors, and meet Gunny and film Gunny and stuff, all that stuff in Houston. And so so I get all these connections from that trip and the other trip. And so one thing domino falls, and next domino falls. The next thing I know, I'm connected to all these different people, or YouTubers and or podcasters and stuff. And they say, hey, you need to check out God and Guns podcast, because God and Guns is my Mike and something. And he said, you already talked to him. And so they introduced me to Mike. And so after about 6 months, Mike and Zach were like finding things difficult. They needed another host to come on and take up for Zach, because Zach wasn't able to be here for every show. I come on like the third podcast. They're saying, Zach's not coming back, so you're going to be the co-host. It's like, okay. So now I'm a co-host of a podcast. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just talking. And so like 3 weeks later, Mike says, you want to take this over on your own? So here we are 4 years later. So, yeah. But Sandy Hook was what started me on this trip. And then one Christmas trip back from visiting my parents down in Florida, I stopped in, had dinner with Doug and Wendy, and I said, hey, you like to come on this show I'm doing? He said, sure. So 4 months later, Doug's on. So that's how we got into God and Guns. Sorry for taking up if people have heard it before, but it's just that you got to take a stand, and it's not easy. I mean, this week has been really hard for me. I mean, really hard, guys. The point where I just wanted to quit. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I just wanted to quit the show, but I just wanted to quit the politics, because I got so many things I'd like to do, and this takes time, and it takes a lot of investment. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot, because I'm having to buy programs to keep this stuff going. I've got these websites they're crashing. I keep trying to learn this stuff, and I'm getting burned. I mean, I know where you get burned out at, and it's just, you just get so worn down from that constant draw of your attention, your time, and resources, that you can get really just to the point where you say, I've had enough. I mean, right before the show started, I was just to the point like, I'm done with it. But I know it needs to be done. I'm not saying that I'm God's gift to anybody, but I'm just saying that the voice needs to be out there of Christian gun owners. The voice needs to be out there of gun owners and Second Amendment evangelists like Tony. You've got to put your time and your resources and your voice to do it. And people are going to say, I'm tired of hearing about it. Well, you might be tired of hearing about it, but as soon as you quit, something's going to fill the void, and the void's going to be filled by those that won't quit. And
It's gonna be it's gonna be bad stuff that fills it. And
yeah.
it's just like I told Josh that um, email that we read earlier. When he sent that, I told him, I said, I said that not only do we appreciate you taking the time to send us an email, but it lets us know that, you know, God can use two country boys like me and Troy, to do something
Three.
like that.
Tony there too. He's a
And Tony. And
Born and
Tony.
raised.
So, I mean, God can use us for different things and to help somebody else. So when I told him, when we get a letter like that, it just reiterates what we're doing is the right thing, and we need to be doing
it. Yeah, that it really does. People don't get it. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. It's not like we make a profit on this. Like when you're working hard at work and you get an overtime or you get an extra money in your check, or however you look at it, there's something there. I'm just doing what I think needs to be done. I'm thinking somewhere, sometime, I'm going to help recruit that person that does make a huge difference in the Second Amendment movement in New Jersey. I feel it's my job, if I can do it, to do it. I'm making nothing here. I work overtime to either get ammo for the events, or I work overtime to get comp time so I can take time off to go to something like the Great American Outdoor Show for 4 or 5 days in a row. My wife, she makes sacrifices and she allows us to call going to the NRA shows a vacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
you're working, Tony.
Oh my God, am I working? And I don't drink alcohol. And I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning too for my regular job. So when we get to NRA, all of a sudden my schedule shifts that I'm hanging out with people and having dinner with people 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. And again, they're sitting in the bar. I'm drinking water and just trying to network. And it's like, I want to go to bed.
It was funny when I got to meet you up at NRA this year, and you came over and said, we were sitting there talking and stuff. Anthony is a friend of mine as well, and that guy gives more back to the community than anybody you can ever ask for. Yep. And I'm going to plug him again because you plugged him a while ago. I'm going to plug him again. Woodland Park Range. It's Gun for Hire Range in Woodland Park up in New Jersey, and he's invited me up 3 or 4 times to come up because I want to get my instructors for NRA just like you did. And Anthony told me, he said, don't worry about trying to get no guns into New Jersey because I don't want to come bail you out of jail. And, I know Evan Knappen, and Evan was like, I'll get you out if you get in jail. He said, but don't worry about it. He said, just come up here. I got the guns. You just take the class and, we'll do it. And so I'm going to take Anthony up on that. So he is going to have to pay for telling me that one of these times. I'm actually going to show up at his door and say, all right, Anthony, here we go. He told me, he said we could do all 3 back to back and be done. And but he is a super nice guy that gives a lot. I mean, you see him testifying all the time in New Jersey, and him and Sandy, and you put both of them together, and they're a trip, I tell you. And
I was really lucky to meet those guys.
Yeah, it was cool. They were actually down here in my neck of the woods last year for the Blade Show up in Atlanta. And Evan is a huge knife guy. I mean, he's actually got a book for all the knife laws for all 50 states that he wrote. So, he's big into knives and all that good stuff. So I actually got to sit in with Anthony and Sandy and Evan on the show, on one of their episodes of their show for Gun for Hire Radio. Awesome. So it was fun. Those are good guys. People
don't understand because Jersey is a big anti-gun state. And most gun owners around the country go, well, what does a guy from Jersey know? You don't understand how rabid pro-gun people are in New Jersey. You want to see some fanatics? Yeah, that's us. That's this small group of people up here. We have 1 million gun owners in New Jersey that are pretty much politically inactive and sat on their duff. But we have about 300 to 500 people that show up in the rain in the wintertime to protest or to go to Senate hearings where you're going to be voted down, and we're there anyway. We're real strong Second Amendment advocates here, and we could use your help. I talk about it on a podcast all the time. If you live in one of those states and you go, our rules are great here, donate to a state like us. Donate to a state like New York or California. They have Second Amendment groups there that need your help financially. Money goes a long way to helping a lot of stuff we do. Me, you give me $10, I can buy 50 rounds of 9mm, and I can introduce 10 different people to shoot a Glock for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? A little bit helps. You don't have to be one of those people that give hundreds of dollars. And it's not just to me, it's to anyone. Just get out there and help someone out. Give a little bit. Just because you paid your NRA dues don't mean your job as a Second Amendment advocate is done.
Right.
Introduce somebody else to shooting something.
Yeah, I mean, just if nothing else, take the neighbor kids or take kids and introduce the next generation to guns. So at least the next generation will be more widely acceptable. I mean, kids always want to learn how to shoot, and so you just have BB guns. Teach them how to shoot BB guns, and then move up to 22s, and that is just something that is lacking in our culture. I mean, the 4-H Foundation shooting program is probably one of the only ones that are really focused on that. Nationwide, but it takes people to show up and teach those kids. So go find a 4-H club that wants to do a shooting program and go join in with their program, or join in with like we have Revere's Riders here in Kentucky. Well, it's around the state, but it teaches marksmanship for any age and teaches American history about the American Revolution. We also have Appleseed. I've done Appleseeds with my sons, both my sons, and I've done Revere's Riders a lot, and try to. Well, I need to do it more, but I'm one of the instructors for them. I need to be out doing that more. There's just so many things that take from your time. It's just everything. But if other people would step up, it's like the church security. I mean, I was about to die in there. I mean, I was sitting there like 4 Sundays and 4 Wednesdays a month, and no one really stepping up. Finally, people saw that and had a need. I needed to get in this worship service and get to worship too, and people started stepping up and helping out. Same thing with us here, guys. Step up in your community. Step up in your local community. Step up and run for NRA board. Step up and be like Tony here and be a Second Amendment evangelist in your community, because it's not just in New Jersey that they need people to attract those that aren't really in the gun culture, not the white guys. So if you have ability to do like Tony does and start that program, find a local range to let you come in there and shoot once a month or once every couple of months or whatever, I'm sure Tony would share that wisdom with you and help spread that around the country.
Yeah, get out there. I speak New Jersey Second Amendment. Excuse me. NJ SafeCon is happening. NJ SafeCon is New Jersey Second Amendment Firearms Educational Conference. That's coming up on the 23rd of September here in Princeton, actually. They're hosting this event. John Willett runs it. And they often have me come out and I speak on a panel, and people always ask, well, how do you do this? Show up. Start going to stuff. I know it sounds like, oh, that's it. Yes, that's it. Start showing up. Go somewhere and actually show up regularly and be dependable. And people will start depending on you. And next thing you know, you're doing stuff. Right. That's all it takes.
People are looking for leaders. I mean, people are looking for someone to lead them. And all it takes is someone to stand up and do it as honestly and transparent as you can. And, and be self-giving. And people will rally around you.
And how's this? Look, if you don't want to be the leader, be a good follower. Mm-hmm. Help out. Just, hey, what do you need? I have a lady named Rhiannon Tang. Rhiannon comes to our events. I was tired. I do a lot of things at the event. I delegate. Rhiannon came in. What do you need, honey? I'll help set up chairs. I'll help set up tables. I'll get people to sign their hello, my name is tag and stick on their clothes. I hand out paper plates. I'll give people cups. I get ice bucket, anything. Just show up and help out. You don't have to be, Mr. Uncle Moneybags showing up, throwing out $100 bills. No, just show up at the beginning and help set up tables. At the end, help clean off the tables. Show up with a bulk pack of 22 ammo and just give it away to a kid shoot or something. I'm not asking everybody to take multiple days off work and do what I do. No, just show up, take a Saturday off or something, and just donate that time, and you'll be a big help.
Cool. Yeah, all right. So give out the links how they can find out more about you and Second Is for Everyone. I've got some in here, but you probably can add some more to our show notes.
Oh, believe me, it's funny because this is grown. This is all organic. It never came out to Tony said, "Hey, let me start some organization." So some of my stuff is all over. The Second Is for Everyone is a Facebook page. You can go there. You can join. I post stuff every couple of days there, or almost every day, somewhere across the internet between Simon Says Train and The Second Is for Everyone. I annoy everyone's Facebook feed. Um, so Simon Says Train is my firearms instructor and review page. That's my professional page. If you really want to help us out or you want to see what events are like or when my next event is, go to diversityshoot.com. I'm still selling the t-shirts on that site. So if you want to help me out with t-shirts to come to my organization, the funds come to my organization, please do that. Hopefully by next week, I'll have a shirt designed just for the Texas relief. If Florida turns out to be as horrible as they say it's going to be, then I'll donate to good causes there. And it's not going to be the big ones that use 95% of the money you send them up on admin costs. Mm-hmm. It's going to be people swinging hammers and doing good things. And I'm going to run that for a year. And all the money that would come to me for that particular shirt is going to go to every relief fund that I can give money to that's decent human beings. So again, you want to reach us and help us out, diversityshoot.com. You want to see what we do on Facebook, Second Is for Everyone, or Simon Says Train. And if you just like looking at pretty pictures of guns, you can go on Simon Says Train on Instagram. I post pictures every day on Instagram, just of cool guns and what we do, and a link to our next event.
Cool deal. Well, we really appreciate you coming on. And if you guys want to see if Tony can help you start that kind of a club in your area, I'm sure he'd be happy to. So I'm sure you can contact him through any of those different sites and he would respond back to you. All right. So we want to thank our Patreon supporters. We started Patreon at the request of several of our listeners, said, hey, if you do a Patreon account, we would help you out with your cost and stuff, and we really appreciate that. So you can go to patreon.com/God and Guns, and top ones are the same ones this week. Tim Kim, Doug Schultz, and tied for third is Steve Stone, our buddy down in Tennessee, and Shannon Copeland. And we really appreciate that every month, guys. We really appreciate those gifts. And then we've got several others that are given a little bit less, but we really appreciate all the support, and it really does mean a lot. You know, when I get down and I see, got money came in from Patreon, I'm like, well, at least some people care to help out. And I'll just keep on going, yeah. But I tell you guys, we're going to have to get us a tech guru right here, Doug. That's all there is to it. To get us up to speed. I'm going to have to change computer systems. I'm looking at going to a iMac system. I mean, I've got a MacBook I'm running on one thing, and I'm running a 10, 12-year-old laptop to run my notes and stuff, and it's about dead. So I've got to upgrade, and I've got high-speed internet now. That's a big change for me.
Yeah,
100 up, 100 down now.
People listen to the show don't understand sometimes the shoestring some of these things run on.
Oh, yeah.
My laptop died yesterday while recording the second episode of the Second Is for Everyone podcast. As we were, it just was like, yeah, you know what? I don't like the internet anymore, and I'm not going to recognize it.
Yep. It's just, I mean, like right before the show, I mean, all of a sudden I got to download some kind of a new program, and I'm like, what is this about? And so I'm looking at the different programs, and there's like, this is $600 a year. I'm like, what? And then there's another program is like $400 a year for this program that now you have to use. I'm like, what? So I'm texting all my tech guys out there in the podcast world, and they say, oh, you just need this account, this thing. And like, okay. Yeah. And so I have to download that, configure it. I have to learn this stuff. I'm an older man.
Oh yeah.
This stuff. on the fly right at the last minute. So I apologize to our listeners for that. Otherwise, you can help out the show. We're going to do this quick, Doug. Join the NRA. We get a little love from the NRA whenever you guys join, and we appreciate it. There's a link on our show notes, link on our webpage. If it is up right now, it keeps crashing. So I don't know. And we've got to do some kind of new upgrade, Doug, about some kind of a security thing by the 15th, or we can't like be seen anymore. I just remembered that I need to tell you that. DeVore link. We've got DeVore link. So if you guys have not heard of DeVore is the clearinghouse for Optics Planet. They are awesome. And I just showed that little thing earlier that I picked up on there for the sub 2000 optic mount. It was like 1/2 the price of it retail. Picked up all kinds of stuff with the reload. Since I got into reloading, I picked up some reloading case holders. I don't know how to explain it. I'm a novice at reloading, but I keep finding I need more things as I go along. So it might be cheaper just to buy ammo. I don't know, but it's therapeutic, It's therapeutic to make your own.
That's right.
Roll your own rounds, Therapeutic. Laser activated shot reporter, LASRAPP.com. If you don't know what that is, just listen to one of my other shows where I rambled on about it. It's using a SIRT pistol, like this SIRT pistol. This one broke, so I gotta get it fixed. Using a SIRT pistol to shoot at targets that you designate on using your webcam. If you go to Laser Activated Shot Reporter website, you can see all kinds of videos how it works, and it's really cool and simple, and it's really reasonable. And you get 10% discount if you use our coupon code GANDG, Got It Guns. Hoplite Armor affiliate. Hoplite Armor has the coolest body armor ever. I met those guys up at the V5 event, which is now Interius Alliance event up in Montana a year and 2 months ago. They have got great body armor. They've got those bulletproof shields with the little windows in them so you can gun porch and you can stick through, and they got bulletproof helmets and shoulder pads. It's just the cool stuff ever. We're a Hoplite Armor affiliate. If you click on the link and you find something you like there, we will get some love from Hoplite. Zija's product I take for my health, weight loss, and keeping myself still moving, as it's a big anti-inflammatory. It helps with all the injuries I've gotten from football and weightlifting and stupid stuff. If you don't know what it's about, go to godandguns.myzija.com and you can see my testimony, and you can find out more about it and hear about the products and see reviews. And if you want to know more about it, there's a contact in there for me personally, and I can explain more to you about it. It's a great supplement company, and it's a great business opportunity. If you are looking for a second income, there is a great opportunity to make money if you think you would be good at marketing. And then you get the last two, Doug.
Crossbreed holsters. If you're carrying a gun on your person, in your car, or even keep one next to your bed, Crossbreed Holster makes a holster for you. Go check those guys out. They got the Super Tuck Deluxe, the Mini Tuck, the Freedom Carry, man, the Drop Slide. They have all kinds of holsters. If you, like I said, if you got a gun and you need a holster for it, go check them out. I wore my gun down in my Super Tuck Deluxe the whole weekend on the trip when I was down in Panama City last week. You just forget you have it on. It's so comfortable. It doesn't rub. It's not uncomfortable. You're not going to carry a gun if you don't have a holster that you can carry it in comfortably. Go check those guys out, crossbreedholsters.com, and see if they can't help you out, get you one. Last but not least, Axelson Tactical, high-performance rifles, pistols, and knives. Go check our buddies out, Jeff Axelson. They make some tack-driving guns, guys. I'm telling you, they're high-quality, just super guns, and those guys are really great guys. Go check them out. Use our promo code God and Guns, and they will give you a 10% discount on anything that you buy through their store. So go check them out, axelsontactical.com.
NRA Armed Citizen, Doug, what you got?
NRA Armed Citizen, Troy put this one up. It's pistol packing mama chases off would-be burglar. This comes to us from Jody Weinberger, the Chronicle Telegraph. Elra, Ohio, a woman. Man, I need my.
I got my glasses on.
You got your glasses. My wife come in here and took her glasses back. You see me looking on the desk for a while. Like they was in here earlier.
It's her fault.
It is her fault. I can't read. I can't hardly see anymore, man.
I got my reading glasses on tonight because I couldn't read that little fine print and that stuff earlier.
You go for it.
A mother of three chased a would-be burglar out of her house with a pistol after he broke in just before 8 p.m. Monday. According to the police report, Brett Santo, 33 of Chestnut Street, walked into Sarah Long's home on 4th Street and approached her 15-year-old daughter. Long's 17-year-old daughter was the first to see Santo and screamed, launching Long into action. Police said Long grabbed a pistol by her bed and she charged at Santo, but dropped the gun while in her home. She and her 17-year-old then chased Santo out of the house and down the sidewalk until they lost sight of him by St. Mary's Church. Officers were dispatched to the area on a report of a burglary suspect fleeing the area. And Long was able to provide police with a description. Police found him on 3rd Street between Middle Avenue and Court Street, and he was arrested and charged with burglary. During the ride to the police station, officers said Santo let out an excited utterance that he did, in fact, burglarize the house. Police said Long said Santo had entered the home Long once before, left when confronted, but Long didn't call the police this time. This time Long said Santo approached her daughter, so Long sprung into action. And I said, "You picked the wrong blank mother," Long said, and I ran after him over the bridge, and he turned around and was like, "Is this woman still chasing me?" And it was by chance that Long saw her gun was nearby, and her boyfriend, who Long described, good grief. Okay, so she ran him out of the house. I'm not going to read another paragraph. The thing is, if she had a gun, would the guy run? Probably not. I don't know what good it did her when she left it in the house, but maybe she didn't want to get shot running down the street with a gun. I don't know.
I have no idea. But do you think the guy called the police? This woman is going to kill me.
Come help me.
Yeah, he called the police for help, I'm thinking.
I do want to read this. What Long's her boyfriend Long described as a big biker guy. They just left the house, encouraged Long to have the pistol ready, and he said, "I'm thanking God it was by a fluke." Or she says, "I'm thanking God it was by a fluke. He told me to put the gun by me." So yeah, a gun doesn't do you good unless it's within arm's reach, right? When someone knocks the door in.
Absolutely.
Very much.
So Tony's ready. He's got his on his holster. He's ready to go.
In his crossbreed holster.
That's right.
In my crossbreed super tuck. But this woman, man, I have to give it to her and her daughters because the 17-year-old is the first one to launch after the guy. And then she joined him. That man was running down the street away from two angry women. I'm thinking he dialed 911 talking about, "Come get me."
What did he say? He could vest in the car or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like, "Please take me to jail. I did it. I broke into that house. Take me to jail right now. Don't open that door." World's worst criminal.
That would have been funny to see on video. That video camera with that. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I appreciate all you guys listening out there. I'm sorry if I've not been following over here on the live chat. We've been keeping up with people. I appreciate.
Yeah, I've been watching them over there.
The guys, I don't know what happened to you. I said if you not last week, we had several brain farts since then. Since the last time we recorded, if you guys were on live, if you'll send me an email with your address, the first 3 I get, I'll send out some swag to. And nobody said anything. So I know there were people watching because we had like 12 people or 15 people on watching last time.
Mm-hmm.
So don't know.
Wow, you have 12 and 15 people? You guys are popular.
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
2 or 3 on our podcast, and it's us trying to find somebody to chat to during the show.
We've got 5 right now. We had like 7 or 8 earlier. It's just one of those nights. Friday night, everybody's out partying, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Or fleeing the hurricane. I don't know. Something's going on.
Yeah.
So send your feedback.
Hey, listen,
Go ahead.
you guys still giving away? You're still giving away those God and Guns patches like the one you gave me in NRA?
If somebody emails me their email address,
Hey,
it's a possibility.
They're sweet patches. I have mine on my backpack that I take to work every day.
Cool. They don't
Every day.
They don't like stop you and look for guns.
Mm-mm. Oh no, I keep that in the car face down. Oh, I ain't dealing with that when the cops pull me over.
All right. Now we actually are. I think I'm down to like one patch that's new and unsealed and sealed in the box over there. I've got order to Patriot Patch to restock us, but they haven't shown up yet. So Jake, where are those? All right, so wrap it up right now. You got anything else, Doug?
I'm good, man.
Anything, Tony?
I'm good. Hey, listen, you guys want to help out? We're building a diversity shoot AR that we're actually going to raffle off. I need everything that goes in the upper except the charging handle. So if you want to help me out, email me.
So you need a barrel nut, gas tube.
Oh, sorry, I got a barrel. Faxon actually donated a gunner barrel to us.
So
But
you need a forearm.
I need forearm, gas tubes, bolt carrier group.
What kind you want?
Dude, don't care.
I mean, carbine length.
Oh, carbine length. What is this? I think it's mid length.
Mid
I
length.
think they gave me a mid length barrel over here.
All right, I don't have a mid length. I think I got a couple of carbines. I'll look around and see what I got. So if you guys have anything you want to send to Tony, and you need sights and optics.
Sights, optic. That'll help.
Suppressors. Oh, you have suppressors.
Yo, now you're just being mean. Now you're just being mean.
Can you have sharp flash hiders? I don't know if you can.
No, actually, we had to have a muzzle device. We can't have flash hiders.
Can you have a bayonet lug?
No.
No bayonet lug.
They iffy bayonet lugs. Ever since Washington crossed to Delaware, the kind of Cheyenne Trenton of bayonets and bayonet lugs.
Those were Hessians. They didn't care.
It was still Trenton. They still in shell shock over there.
A bunch of Germans still over there? I run them out there a long time ago.
No, a bunch of people that hate our freedoms over there. Go ahead.
Maybe get a boat. Head on over this January. Christmas,
yeah.
Yeah, Christmas. Head on over there. They all be drunk. You know they will be.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a good idea. Okay. So wrap it up. Send your feedback to Troy at gungunspodcast.com or
Doug at gungunspodcast.com.
Do that one more time, Doug. You choked out in there.
Oh, did I drop out? Doug at gungunspodcast.com.
There you go. Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/gungunspodcast. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube. And there's a link there because I'm not going to read that. That's what YouTube gives me. Follow us on Twitter at GunGunsPod. Search for us on Instagram and search for us on MeWe if you want to do gun trades. And I'm looking for a Glock 29. So if you're on MeWe, send me a thing. So website is gungunspodcast.com. Won't do you good because I think it's still down. And until next time, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Night, y'all.
Night. Thanks, Tony, for coming on with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, guys.